There is no time for not having yummy food in life. Life is too short. Eat delicious things, and you can eat delicious things and still hit your goals. Hello everyone, I'm Francesca. Welcome to my new channel. I'm so excited to be launching this channel today. Some of you may know me from my other channel and my food blog, Plantifully, which is all focused around vegan, sort of gourmet, really cozy comfort food. This channel is going to be focused on high protein, eating in a calorie deficit, eating for weight loss. If you don't know anything about me, I've lost about 50 pounds in the last 3 years. And it's something I've become passionate about, eating really delicious food while being vegan and hitting those protein goals. So I'm really excited to be launching this channel. Today, I figured I wanted to start it off with something that I think everybody will love, which is going to be high protein vegan crunch wraps. Let's do it. If you are not on the Josephs Lavash wrap train, I need you to get on it. I need you to come on that train with me because these things are amazing. We're gonna need 2 Josephs products today. First is gonna be the wraps. We're only gonna use half of the wraps. And I know what you're probably thinking, these are probably the base, but they're not. We're gonna air fry these, cut them into little chippies. The base is actually going to be the regular Lavash wraps because we need like a bigger base to be able to really fold the crunch wrap up. And these are just so awesome because they're at least like 12 grams of protein for the whole wrap. Always make sure to measure these because in theory, half of this should be 32 grams, so a whole one should be 64. But when I measured mine, like when I weighed it out, it was 74 grams. So just make sure to keep that into account. When you're making these crunch wraps at home, you should definitely use a food scale and just like measure everything out so when you're tracking your calories, everything comes out properly. So I have mine in half and I'm just going to use it and cut it into little triangles. If you can't find these Josephs wraps, you can always use like a carb balanced tortilla if you want to. Just know, of course, any products that you change will change the calories and the macros. So just something like this. They don't need to be fancy or perfect in any way, shape, or form. I got my air fryer basket right here. I'm gonna just throw in my little tortilla pieces. I'm gonna hit it with a little spray oil. I like the coconut one from Trader Joe's. I don't measure spray oil. If you feel so inclined to try and measure it out, have fun. It's probably only adding like an extra 5 to 10 calories for a quick spray. This right here is 3 grams of taco seasoning. We're gonna just take a pinch because we're gonna use the other stuff for like our meat. But just to give these a little extra flavor, this is gonna be a good one because it's covered and stuff, but something like this, we're just gonna air fry these for a few minutes until they're crispy. The chips are good to go. They came out nice and crispy, so I'm just gonna put them to the side. Now, for our meat replacement, we're going to be using TVP, textured vegetable protein. This is made from defatted soy flour, and this is an amazing, amazing product. You just have to rehydrate it, and then it is good to go. And just like macros wise, for a quarter cup, it's 80 calories and 12 grams of protein. It's shelf stable. It just stays in the pantry. It's honestly, you should keep this in your house. And if you can't have soy, you could use either like the Plant Boss crumbles or Trader Joe's now makes a pea protein version, which is basically just like a pea protein version of the textured vegetable protein. But it's such an awesome, underrated way to get in protein as a vegan. Use this in soups, chilies, sloppy joes, burgers. I've used it in my cookbook, Plantiful, for tons of things. I used it on my other blog for tons of things. So TVP is definitely really, really, really great. I'm not really doing this the proper way, but I'm just gonna do this like the way I wanna do it. So I'm gonna take my TVP, I'm gonna put this into my little pan that I'm gonna cook everything in. I'm also gonna pop in, this is like half of a shallot. Don't get mad at me for not sauteing the shallot ahead of time, okay? It's like, sometimes you just need to like cook a little bit lazy, all right? And then we're gonna add in half a cup of water. Just let this kind of rehydrate for a second. You'll see it really soaks it up really, really fast. And then we're going to add in the rest of that taco seasoning. And then we're just gonna pop this on the stove and let everything cook up. I'm just letting this sort of absorb more of the water, just waiting for the pan to heat up. If you wanted to saute the shallots in a little oil ahead of time, if you don't care and you don't mind to take a few extra calories for it, then go for it. Be my guest. And yeah, I'm just gonna let this continue to like cook, warm up, and do its thing. Next thing we need to do is make a cheese sauce. So I'm going to add my vegan shreds in here. This was 15 grams. We're gonna add in non-dairy milk. My favorite to use is Ripple because it is a pea protein-based milk, so it adds some extra protein in. The next thing we're gonna add in, the last thing, is gonna be nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is so amazing, and people don't give enough credit because it's another high protein thing that's low in calories that you can just add into anything savory, and it'll just up that protein by like 1 or 2 grams super easily without that many extra calories. So I highly encourage you to be trying to add nutritional yeast into things. And it gives like a cheesy umami flavor. So I'm also gonna take this over to the stove, melt this down. I think making a cheese sauce like this makes such a difference with vegan cheese because it just needs really help getting melted down to just have a nice texture. And it takes like 2 extra seconds. If you need to add a little more non-dairy milk, or even if you want to add in a splash of water, you definitely can. I'm thinking that our TVP looks pretty good. So shallots are looking nice and cooked now. Everything looks good. I do just want to get that little bit on the bottom of the pan, like all that flavor that's back there. So we'll just give this a little deglaze real quick. Look at that. I love TVP. It's just so easy to cook with, and it's just so underrated. People always forget about it. Here comes the fun part, the scary part. I don't know, just depends how you feel about assembling things. We're going to now make our crunch wrap. So make sure that this is warm. I'm actually just gonna pop it in the microwave for like a few seconds because I can feel that it's like a little tough around the edges. I don't want this to break. So that's out of the microwave. You have to like work kind of quickly. So let's get this vegan TVP in here. I'm just gonna sort of work it into like a little circle here, and then I'm gonna press it flat too. Now you can really layer things however you want. It's all up to preference. I'm gonna do the cheese sauce next, I think. Put that on there. Also, if you want to like make a cheese sauce with potatoes and carrots and things like that, like a more traditional vegan cheese sauce, you can. Of course, it would change macros, but it's also a good way to get extra veggies in. Get every last little drop that's in here. Also, obviously, this is a recipe for one, so if you want to make more, then make more. Okay. Then I'm gonna go with my lettuce. This was just 20 grams of iceberg lettuce. I got 20 grams of, or this was like 30 grams of chopped tomatoes. Mush again. I want everything to stay kind of flat so I have a better chance of sealing it up. Then we have 30 grams of Kite Hill Greek yogurt. It looks like this. It is almond based, but it has soy protein in it. So it's really good for like being a vegan sour cream substitute. That right on top. Again, spread it out. This will be good too because it'll like help to hold everything together on top a little bit. Do not think I forgot about the chips that I just made. Okay, see this one? He didn't come out so good, so he's a snack. We're looking good. We're going to pop this back in the pan, and I'm gonna put my spray oil in here. So we're just ready to go. Ooh, those chips are good. Okay. Do your best to just sort of like fold it into a hexagon. However it comes out is how it's gonna come out, you know? Half the time you get them from Taco Bell and they're not even hexagons. So, oh, come on, come on. All right, you know what? It could be worse, could be better, could be worse. This is the trick though. Flip into your hand very quickly. And do your best to keep it folded and in there. Bring this back to the stove. So you're just gonna cook on each side for a few minutes just to get it, first of all, sealed and also crispy, warmed up. And you can, I have this heat on really low, so I'm just gonna like push on it a little bit with my spatula, with my hands. Obviously be careful. All right, I think it sounds like it's going. I'm gonna hit it, a little spray oil that way. Ready? I'm scared. Are you scared? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Look at that. That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was really nervous for what we were gonna find under here. Even though I've like made these before, but like you never know, like the predictability of a wrap. It's wild out here. It's unpredictable, okay? So just I'll kind of keep my spatula pressed here just because as it cools, sometimes it does need some help too to like stick together, but oh, that's looking beautiful. All right, we'll crisp up the other side and then we're gonna cut into it. Before we cut in to that gorgeous crunch wrap back there, I wanna give you guys a macro breakdown. So Taco Bell's Crunchwrap is 540 calories, 16 grams of protein, 73 grams of carbs, and 21 grams of fat. My Crunchwrap is 444 calories, 42.4 grams of protein, 53.5 grams of carbs, and 10.4 grams of fat. So aside from the obvious difference that I did not use animal products, we weigh up the protein, we brought down the carbs a little bit, we brought down the fat. If you want to add some fat back in, add it in. You could do some avocado in there. You could always, of course, cook with a little oil. You could also add in some beans for some extra just nutrients, a little extra protein, a little extra carbs. And you could also add in some rice. I think that would be great if you want to also add in some carbs if you're trying to like bulk. I think as that is pretty darn good. So let's bring the Crunchwrap over here. Let's bring our star of the show over here and cut into it and give it a try. It is the moment we've all been waiting for, or at least I've been waiting for. We're gonna cut this bad boy in half. Look at, are you kidding? Are you kidding right now? So I really love that we have all this deliciousness in here. You could see the creaminess of that vegan yogurt there. The vegan TVP looks so good. The lettuce, the tomatoes add the freshness. And then of course we'll have those chips in there as we bite in. And I just think this looks amazing. It is time to give our Crunchwrap a taste test. And I'm so excited. Of course, if you wanted to add some hot sauce on here, just like, look at that. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. ASMR. No, I'm just kidding. This is not an ASMR channel. Okay. It's honestly, what will never cease to amaze me is that yogurt can taste like sour cream. Obviously, in our case, all dairy free, but even just before I went vegan, I'd always tried that too, like regular yogurt in place of sour cream. And it just is amazing that it can like have that effect. The Josephs Lavash wraps are seriously like a gift from I don't know where, because they're so versatile. They have nice flavor. They really work well here. And you know, the lettuce, the tomatoes, the cheese sauce, if you want to double it to make it extra cheesy, you definitely can. It won't, you know, it'll just add probably like another 50 calories extra, I think. And if you can't find Josephs Lavash wrap, you can swap it out for the carb balanced tortillas. They'll affect the protein count, but they'll be good substitutes for this. I'm just, ugh. And I know that the TVP doesn't get like as dark as like a ground beef, but it still is really good and it's delicious. You could throw in some soy sauce if you wanted to, just for like looks purposes. But yeah, this is so good. And I highly suggest you make it. Also, something else I just wanted to say, if you don't want to make the tortilla chips, like if you don't want to do that with those wraps, you could also just use the Josephs Lavash wrap. Again, like you don't have to use a tortilla, but I just kind of like wanted to. Plus I wanted to try those tortillas for other things. So it's your choice. And the reason that we didn't use a tortilla instead of the wrap, again, was because of the size and because those wraps are pretty flimsy. So yeah, but with all that being said, we did our first recipe on the new channel. I'm so excited. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I'm really excited for this new part of my like social media journey. Like I said earlier, if you didn't know anything about me, I have been doing this for 7 years. I just have been doing it in a more sort of like super delicious recipe focus while doing weight loss stuff in the background of my own life, and it's something I've become passionate about. So I'm excited to share these things with you. And of course, always Plantifully based will always be Plantifully based, but this is Plantifully Francesca. So, you know, we're sharing some different kinds of recipes here, but it's always going to be yummy. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you try this out, let me know how it goes. I'll see you soon with another recipe. Bye.